we are doing something different today. So I made that post yesterday. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm going to send a message in the chat real quick.
Oh yeah, please do. I made that post yesterday in the group because, collectively, I watch your businesses, and I know Trish watches your businesses too. And there's just a stall. There is definitely something holding you back. We'll get to what it is. I was interested in your responses underneath there. And I do want to thank you guys that responded for responding, because it's important to be able to tell the truth about, or at least begin to dig into telling the truth about what's holding you back. But when we have been in this group it's been 6 weeks now, right? I think that it's been 6 weeks. When we've been in this group for 6 weeks, and I'm not sure that I've seen anyone in this group accomplish or almost accomplish what they said they wanted when they came to the group. And this is just like we're results-driven skincare. This is a results-driven group. We're not here to waste our time. I have other things I might like to be doing on Sunday afternoon at 4 o'clock, and you do too. We're here to be accountable for the growth, for the actions that we're taking in our business to grow. And Trish is going to take us through something in just a second that she's been learning through a program that she's doing, and I am very thankful that she is sharing this information with us. You'll hear about it in just a second. But looking through your comments, the one thing that I see in all of them, that whether you want to hear this or not, the truth is, it is a complete lack of mental toughness that we all have whenever we're holding ourselves back. Because I've been there too. I'm doing okay right now, but I've been there too. And we all go through these things. And the thing about mental toughness and the thing about life is that it just keeps on going unless it doesn't, and then your problems are over, I suppose, whatever. But that's what happens. And you're going to encounter another valley. You are going to encounter another crappy thing. You're going to encounter, just count on it. Something horrible is going to happen again, or something undesirable, or whatever. And you have to figure out right now how you're going to handle that. Not in the moment, not, well, it feels this way, so I'm going to respond this way. Like, you have to make your mind up right now that this is the way that you're going to handle these things. I loved, if you guys haven't had a chance to go read what Sherry Hanks posted on her page the other day, you all know she doesn't post much. So when she writes something, please go read it, because it was fire, and it is the truth. I saw in all of your responses, whether it was consistency or time, whether it was consistency or time, or the time one. If you guys are still are struggling with time, come to a planning meeting on Sunday, okay? Or go watch the video that I just did on the team page, or go watch the time blocking training that's up on the YouTube channel that I did earlier this year, and then implement it. Because what I just said on the team page is the God's honest truth, and whether I like it or not every day, and whether you like it or not every day, the fact of the matter is we have just as much control over our time as we do our money, as we do every other thing that we have. It's yours. Do what you want with it. Yes, you may have a full-time job or something. You may have these moving parts. We, in fact, all have these moving parts. But you're in control of your time. You're the one who gets to say where it goes. You're signed up for too much stuff that doesn't bring you joy and is just sucking the life right out of you. Quit. Like, stop doing the things that aren't pushing you forward or aren't bringing you joy. Stop doing that. You have the ability every day to do that. You also have the ability every day to say, during this 15 minutes, I know the one thing I can do to move the needle, to build the business, to find business partners. If your goal was level 5, and I know that is the goal for a lot of you, go get it. In my first year in business, it was built on events. I was a wreck. I didn't know what I was doing. All I knew was that I had a one-track mind, that this is what I was doing, and this is what I needed to get there. And I did anything that I could to find people that wanted to do what I was doing. And what I really thought whenever I read all of the responses there is that if those things are holding you back, and I've been honest and I've been vulnerable with you guys, for those of you guys who struggle with anxiety and depression the same way that I have for my entire life, you can barrel through it. Like, I promise you can barrel through it. And in fact, this business has helped me in that nature. When you take a deep breath and you go right through that, and you're able to build relationships and turn that heavy feeling and those things like that into joy, dang it if that's not beating the crap out of it. I mean, it is awesome. Don't let that hold you back. And that's what I saw through all of these comments, was that you are giving your why away to all those reasons. You're just giving it away. And if your why, if you're just giving your why away that easy, it's not big enough. It is not big enough. You have got to find something that when you wake up every day, it doesn't matter what happens. You're laser focused on what your goal is and what you want to do. You're going. Hell or high water, you are going through it. And you're going to find the people to build your business, to build your team, to do these things that you want to do. And I really see that that's missing. And so whether or not you need to revisit your why, or you need to barrel through the things that Trisha's about to take us through, you've really got to get down to it. And at the end of the day, you know, this is the unfortunate part. The unfortunate part for leaders is we can't do it for you. Man, if I could, I would. Probably not, because I'm super busy building my business. But I can't do it for you. You have to do it yourself. And we know that it's scary, and we know that it's uncomfortable. We know you don't really know what you're doing yet. You're going to figure it out. It's going to be just fine. I still don't know what I'm doing some days. It's just fine. But you have to grab onto that, and you have to do it. You can't let anything take that away from you. And that's what you're doing. You're just giving it. You're just giving it away. All right, Trish, I'm so excited to hear this.
Okay, so I haven't formally taught this before, but this is something that I learned through Bob's, it's like an advanced leadership course. It's called Next Level Leadership. And this is strictly what we focus on in this group, because this is what makes people successful or makes people unsuccessful. And success is whatever you think it is. And so it's called the Formula for Transformation. And I want you to know that this is just the beginning of you learning the formula for transformation. What I'm going to teach you is something that if you want to take your business to the next level, I mean, probably anything in life, but your business to the next level, you'll have to continuously practice this over and over and over and over again. And I would say probably at least doing this for about 30 days. So if you don't have a piece of paper yet, grab one, because we're going to actually write some things down. So when I read everybody's comments on there, what the overarching theme that I saw that holds people back from building their business is fear. And this formula of transformation is going to let us identify the thoughts that you have in your head, the feelings that you have around these thoughts, and we're going to dig into the red light story that you tell yourself about these thoughts, and we are going to turn it around to make a green light story, a story that's going to serve you, and a story that is going to propel you forward. So what is going to make or break somebody in our business is going to be the thoughts that go on in their head, the things every single day that they tell themselves consciously or subconsciously. That's what's going to make or break you. The mental toughness is what you need to be able to get what you want out of this. And if we look at what we all truly want, because I think we're all here wanting to build a business, we want financial freedom, we want time freedom, and we want personal freedom. And if we can't get control of our thoughts in our head, if we can't get control of that, we will never reach all three of those things. And when it comes to personal freedom, I'll give you just a couple of examples with that. So for me, and a lot of you people may be like this, I am a achiever. I'm a wanting to achieve over and over and over and over again, because I contribute my achievement to my worthiness. And if I don't get control of that, I will never have personal freedom, because I will always think that I need to achieve, or I'm never worthy of who I am. And so I need to get complete control over those thoughts in my mind. And that has been years in the making. So essentially, these thoughts that we're all thinking, we need to unlearn them, and we need to practice telling ourselves the green light story that is going to serve us. Because if we look at something, we have, everything is a fact, right? Like everything that we can talk about in our business. Let's just say the fact is I have 5 business partners. That's the fact, right? And that's the circumstance. It's up to you. Are you going to decide that's amazing? Or are you going to decide, oh, I'm not there yet. Oh, I'm not there yet. Like, what is it? What is your road that you're going to take? I have 10 PCs. Oh my God, I have 10 PCs. I'm helping 10 people. That's so incredible. Or is your story, oh, I can't get PCs. Like, I just like can't get people to buy the products. They're too expensive. Like, what is the road that you're going to take? So we have the truth, we have the fact, and then we have whatever you make up the truth to be. So if you think about this, we have beliefs that are shaped by, I mean, everything that we have experienced in our life so far. Those are our beliefs. And then our beliefs contribute to our thoughts. What are the things that go on in our head every single day? Those make us feel a certain way, most oftentimes not good. And then those not good feelings, or maybe good feelings, determine what actions we take. The actions we take are going to give us the results that we deserve based on the actions we take. I don't see. Okay. Being recorded? Yeah, okay. The limiting beliefs. We all have different limiting beliefs. We're all in different areas of our business. And, you know, my limiting belief is different than Julie's and Sarah's and Holly's, and I mean, everybody's. It's all different. And so we need to identify what these limiting beliefs are and work through them. We need to erase that red light story that we have created over so much time. And that's why I'm going to reiterate, this is day 1 of you practicing this formula. And the reason that you need to write it down, and I'm going to teach you how to write it down, is because you created these stories in your mind. Like, you created them in your mind, and you're not going to be able to get them under control in your mind. So you need to get them out onto paper, probably have somebody else help you, so they can be like a voice of reason for you, because it's going to be very difficult for people to undo these. And we're going to come up with a strategy so you can focus on it every day, essentially. So I want you to write on your paper. One second, let me pull it up. Does anybody have any questions so far?
Nope. Crystal clear.
So if you just go down like this, you're first going to write C for circumstance, and you can write out circumstance if you want. And then you're going to write T for thought. And then you're going to write F for feeling, A for action, R for result. So Bob coaches this with so many people. And initially, when I first learned it, I was kind of hard. I didn't quite understand how to put it into action. But we have like hot seats all the time where he runs people through the formula. And so seeing like multiple examples and example, it's really helped me to understand how to do it. So if you're feeling like you don't have it 100% today, that's okay, because what you're going to do is you're going to work on it every single day to then get a grasp of like what's going on in your mind. I think it's totally normal if you don't have 100% grasp of what your limiting belief is today. Okay, so let's just go with one. Let's go. Sarah, can you pull up one that somebody posted about on the thing?
Yep.
While you're looking at that, I want to say something else.
Mhm.
If you are in a place where you are thinking to yourself, I feel like I've done everything. I feel like I'm doing the reach outs. I feel like I'm posting on social media. I feel like I'm doing the things that you guys are all telling me to do. I can tell you exactly why you're not seeing the results that you want to see. It's because you haven't worked on yourself yet. And you haven't gotten into these limiting beliefs that you're telling yourself. And whether we know it or not, it's coming across to the people that we're talking to, whether it's lack of confidence or lack of belief in ourselves, whatever it is, it's coming across. And when you get control of your limiting beliefs and get control of the thoughts in your mind and start working on yourself, that's when you will see the results that you are wanting from the work that you do. I think that both are so essential. You can do all the work and not have the belief, right? Or you can have the belief, but you still need to do the work. So, they go hand in hand, but the mindset is a huge part. Okay, Sarah, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm actually going to pick Brittany's because it has a mix of things that other people put in as well. And so she had written anxiety, guilt with balancing between work and family. And that is something that we see come up really all the time.
Okay. Actually, you know what? I want to do that one, but let's start with Jennifer Winchell's. I want to do Jennifer
Yep.
first because it's a little bit more simple.
Yep.
And then we can go into anxiety and managing family work time.
Okay, Jennifer's was really specific too. I feel so defeated with being ignored after multiple reach outs, and then even worse when I get the "it's too expensive" response.
Okay, so we can actually, if you look at your CT, whatever, if you look at it down, we can start with actually the feeling, and then we can work around there. So her feeling is defeat, right? Did she have a feeling at the end of it also? Or it was just defeat?
No, at the end, she just said, I feel even worse when it gets too expensive, when she gets it's too expensive back.
Okay. So she feels defeated. Now, the thought that she has about that, I'm just going to guess because she's not here and we all kind of deal with this. The thought that she has is probably, I just can't get people to buy the products, right? Like I can't get PCs. Would you guys agree that that's probably the thought?
Absolutely.
So can't get people to buy. So let's talk about the circumstance of that. So let's say it's PCs. I can't get PCs. The circumstance to that is how many PCs does Jennifer have? So I'm going to guess that Jennifer has like 20, okay? Maybe more. So I'm going to say Jennifer has 20 PCs. That's the circumstance. That is non-negotiable, right? That's just a straight fact. So she has 20 PCs. So when she feels like she can't get people to buy, I would ask her, well, is that true, Jennifer? Jennifer, is that true? Because you have 20 PCs, so that's not true, right? She's like, no, that's not true because I do have 20 PCs. Okay, cool. Now, you feel defeated when somebody comes to you and says, I think she posted a screenshot in there and she said,
yeah, you mean to read it?
Can you take me out of the group? I think it's just too expensive for me. I don't see myself buying it. So the action that Jennifer takes when she feels defeated, what do you guys think the action is that Jennifer takes when she feels defeated?
No action.
Probably no action. So we're going to write that next to no action. And how do you think then her results of growing her business are when she takes no action? That's a no-brainer, right? So one thing that I think that this formula is missing is the green light story of it. So I think that we should do CTFAR, green light at the bottom.
I like that.
So hold on a second. Jennifer's red light story is I can't get people to buy. Like, I just, I reach out to them. They think it's too expensive. I'm just not successful in getting people to join. I feel defeated. That's her red light story. So what I would challenge Jennifer to do is I would challenge her and say, okay, what's your green light story? Because your red light story, you just made that up. That's not true or false. You just made that story up. So what's your green light story? Well, I do have 20 PCs. That's incredible. I'm helping 20 people with their skin. And, Rodan & Fields is not going to be everybody's cup of tea. They're not going to want to try it. And just because she doesn't want to try it now doesn't mean that she's not going to try it in the future. And she also just may not be my person. So I know that this is not a direct reflection of me as a person, and that I'm going to continue to reach out to people and share these products with them because I know they're incredible. I've got 20 other PCs that think they're incredible. That's the green light story. So Jennifer, for some reason, she's got some limiting belief going on in her head that she can't flip that into her green light story by herself. And so she automatically just, hangs on to this red light story that she's telling herself. And so she needs to do whatever she needs to do to remind herself that I have 20 PCs that I am helping with their skin. This one person's opinion or this one person's lack of interest in Rodan & Fields is not personal to me. And that I'm going to continue to find people that have some really great skincare. This one no doesn't make a difference in my business. Whether she needs to write that on a sticky note and put it down to the, at the area that she works at, whatever she needs to do to remind herself of that every single day, that this does not define her. This is not a blow against Jennifer. This is just one person's opinion of Rodan & Fields, or maybe multiple people's opinion. I'm sure she's getting multiple no's. We all do, right? And no's are a normal part of the process. So that's a simple one. Does anybody have any questions about that?
I don't. I love that.
So,
I do. I don't know if I missed something, but can we break that one down real quick the way we broke down the first one, the CTF, A&R?
Oh yeah, I did. So she feels defeated. Her thought is that she can't get people to become a PC. The circumstance is that she has 20 PCs. So maybe her thought is like, I need more PCs. Maybe that's what she's thinking. I need more PCs. But circumstance, which is the fact, is that she has 20 PCs. Her thought is, I need more. I can't get other people to buy it. She feels defeated, which results in not taking any action, or limited action, which obviously doesn't result in good results.
Okay.
So
I thought we were,
yeah. Okay, so let's talk about, so the anxiety and, hold on, what did I do?
And work-life balance.
Okay, so let me think about this for a second. Tell me more about the anxiety though. Like somebody that has anxiety, what do you guys have? Well, Brittany, you're here. Can you talk?
Yeah, hey. So it's really funny because in normal, PA job, I feel very, feel very like empowered, and I'm very direct, and I know what I want, and I don't know if I'm seeing the result. So with Rodan & Fields, it's been really frustrating because I feel like I'm like doing some reach outs, getting no's. The consultant aspect's been really frustrating because I really want to bring somebody on.
Mm-hmm.
So I almost get this like overwhelming feeling of, I don't know, anxiety. It's a hard thing to explain, but it almost makes you like shut down mentally. And then you end up not doing anything, because you're so anxious about what you're doing. So I feel like when I get that way, I just shut down. So last week I just took time off from like social media, everything, to like regroup.
Anxiety a lot is loss of control, or a feeling of lack of control. And
Yes.
And then, and it feels heavy, it feels overwhelming. And that lack of control also produces a shitstorm, if you will, of thoughts in your head that just, and you can't even think clearly.
So we need to go deeper into your limiting beliefs. But I want to tell you guys something first. So what is really interesting about our business, and I've thought this for like years now, everything that we've done up until this, we've done on our own. So we go to school, we get a degree. That is 100% on us, how well we do, we graduate, it's just us. And we join Rodan & Fields, and everything is out of our control. You cannot control when someone joins you in business. You cannot control when someone becomes a PC. It is 100% out of your control. And that is a really weird feeling. And you start to think like, what do I do here? Because you actually start to get into this thing where you feel like you need to work a lot. You need to work long hours, and you need to like just give it so much time, because time will equal success. If I do the time, people will join me. And that's not always the case. And that takes me back to personal freedom. If you don't get that under control, you'll never have personal freedom. You have to be able to put your time in and know what those things are. Honestly, shouldn't be more than an hour a day, unless you have a large team and you're doing something else. Know what those things are, that you have to trust the process. That if I do 10 reach outs and I ask people if they're interested in joining the business or learning more about the business or learning more about the products, you have to trust that the process will work and that you will get business partners and PCs. But it is the weirdest feeling. And it's kind of crazy because since I've joined, I've found pleasure in doing things like an online course for work, because it's like totally in my control and I feel accomplished at the end. Where when you sit down to do your Rodan & Fields work, you don't feel accomplished, really. And so that's why you have to really find the beauty in the action. And that is your accomplishment. Did I do the action today? That's your accomplishment. So that can be really hard to deal with. But if we talk about anxiety, we have to dig deeper into the limiting belief. So what are the things that you are thinking that is preventing you from asking someone the question? And I'll give you some examples, but I want to hear what you have to say. But like for a lot of people, it's just as simple as, I'm afraid that they're going to think that I'm involved in a pyramid scheme, or I don't know what they're going to think of me, or they're going to say no, or what if they say yes? And then I have to like walk them through this process that I'm not even comfortable with yet. Like, so tell me what your limiting beliefs are that bring you the anxiety.
I think that last one you said, that they say yes, like, what if I fail them? What if I don't do things right? What am I good enough to lead them and help them be successful? Although I know success is up to each one of us, and you have to be coachable and do the things, but
Also out of our control.
Yep.
Yep.
So let's break that down. So I suppose the thought would be, I don't know if I'm a good enough leader. Would that be the thought?
Yep.
I don't know if I'm a good enough
100%.
leader. Okay. Which brings you anxiety, which is your feeling, which then pretty much debilitates you and you do no action. Which ends in your team not growing. Do you have the same feeling about PCs?
Not really.
Okay.
Not to that extent, I don't think.
I'm having a hard time like really identifying the circumstance. So the circumstance for this, I think, would be like, let's say the result is my team's just not grow, or let's say the thought is, Well, I don't know. Let's just skip circumstance for a second. Unless somebody has an idea of what the circumstances around not being a good enough leader.
The circumstance can often be that you did bring somebody on and in fact they're not successful. That's a circumstance I've been through that many times.
Well, I would pick
Or
Brittany.
quit right away.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
Brittany,
I
I
would
would,
just not gonna do anything.
since you don't have any teammates yet, like we're gonna talk of, we'll add in there like you do, okay? So, or we'll just give examples of somebody else that does. So, do you, okay, let me ask you this. Do you feel like your success is Tracy's responsibility? Brittany?
Me?
Oh, I was like, are you what?
No, not Becca.
No.
Brittany, do you feel like your success is Tracy's responsibility?
No, not at all. But
Okay.
I also like being a friend and partner with her. I want to be successful. Like not like I'm trying to live up to a standard, but I'm kind of am. Like I want to not impress her, but I don't know how to explain it.
Like,
But I know my success is
there-
on me.
mm-hmm.
But
Like,
I don't want to like let her down
Mm-hmm.
on not being successful.
Brittany,
that
are you
makes
a
sense.
people pleaser?
Yeah, probably.
So, Tracy, since we're here, would you feel let down if Brittany wasn't successful?
I would feel let down if she was unhappy. So like whatever her success that she wanted to achieve, if she wasn't personally able to meet that, I would be only let down because she would be let down.
Mm-hmm. And do you see a pattern here of Tracy's biggest concern is your feelings, and you have feelings of anxiety because you feel like you wouldn't be a good enough leader if you did bring on people. And you kind of, although you're doing this for yourself, you kind of want to be there to grow together.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a pretty vicious circle, right? That sounds like a very vicious circle. So the red light story that you're telling yourself is that I'm not a good enough leader. Why do you feel like you wouldn't be a good enough leader?
I guess when it comes to Urban Build, I feel like I don't know all the answers.
Mm-hmm.
And I like even some of the language, I still feel like I'm getting tripped up and I don't always know what to say or how to say it. And I think being a good leader is part of that.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes me nervous to run under me and not be able. I mean, I know y'all are there. The team is there. I think it's just a mindset.
Do you feel like, do you think that people that you're talking to care about the words you use?
I mean, I feel like sometimes, because I'll ask Tracy's advice on some of my conversations, and I feel like that definitely helps.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, the people that do know me, no.
Yeah.
I don't think they care as much.
I don't think people care either. Do you trust in the document that we have that gets people onboarded?
Yes,
Do you feel like that's a good resource for you?
I do. Because I like very organized things, and I feel like that's a very organized way to follow things.
So if we were to give you an example, like if you had, maybe let's say like one or two people that had joined your team, and one is successful and one is not successful, and you wouldn't give yourself all the credit for the person that's not successful or that is successful, right?
No.
You would think that person, like, they did their thing, whatever, right? They did it themselves. And so would you blame yourself for the person that is not successful?
Probably a little bit.
How come?
Like, could I do more? What can I do more?
What if you did the same thing with both people? Exact same thing.
I mean, then I probably would go on to like the tough love aspect of it, of what why they joined.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess not necessarily if I knew that I did everything I could to make
Yeah.
them successful.
So let's make up your green light story. So you have anxiety about prospecting for new teammates because you feel like you wouldn't be a good enough leader. And ultimately, it sounds like, which is not uncommon, that you feel like their success is in your hands, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what if we told ourselves, you know, this is such an incredible opportunity. Like I literally need to share this with nearly everybody I know, but let me just start with the people that I like really want to share it with, the people that I'm close to that I think would kill this. And we have this process in place that literally walks them through step by step by step of how to get started in their business. I'm going to treat everybody the same. I'm just going to go from appointment to appointment, and I'm going to see how they respond to it. You know, I'm going to meet them where they're at. Their success is not my responsibility. Their success is out of my hands. And in fact, this person could be successful even if I didn't exist, because they have the tools at their fingertips to work this Rodan and Fields business even without me. What if you told yourself that every day?
I feel like I would be more inept to reach out, and hearing those no's wouldn't be as, I guess, hard of a blow.
Well, why do you
as they
feel like
have
the
been.
no is a hard blow? Because that kind of brings up a different story there.
Because I feel like everybody I've reached out to, like, join my team, it's either been like, no, I'm not interested in that, or I'm already a consultant, and it's hard to get that motivation to keep reaching out. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, is it something I'm doing? Am I not showing good leadership that people want to join my team? So then it
Yeah.
spirals into that anxiety. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I want to tell you guys something craziness. A girl joined me today that I have been talking to since the day I started my business. She may have been in my top 10 people that I reached out to. I was so excited to tell her about it. And I thought for sure she was going to be like, oh, girl, give me some of those products. Like, I thought for sure, 100%. And she respectively, well, multiple times she ignored me. I mean, I'm sure she ignored me more than she actually responded. But she was like, no, I love my skincare. I love it, whatever. I kept following up, got ignored. Sometimes she'd answer, made casual conversation, complimented, how's life? Finally, she bought some lash boost. She had been sending me photos of her lashes like once a week for like 3 weeks now. And I'm like, hey, do you want to share this with other people and make some money? And she said, you know, that's a really good idea. So 4.5 years later, it happened. What if I would have quit? What if I would have let all of those no's that I've heard over 4.5 years, which believe me is a shit ton. No's, actually, there's way more ignores versus no's. I mean, way more. People don't even message back. So knowing part of the process that like this is totally a numbers game. More people are going to tell you no than they're going to tell you yes. More people are going to ignore you than they're even going to tell you no. That's a normal part of the process. And having our belief so strong, because when someone tells us a no, we have to think about it. We take it personal. We say like, we feel like it's a blow against us, and it's not. And so that's a whole nother story that we can talk about. So the red light is we take it personal. I can't get anybody to buy products. I can't get anybody to join. And we have to turn it around to say like, this is about them, and when is the right time for them to join? A lot of the times people are not like messaging us back, maybe because they don't actually want to say no to us. So they just kind of ignore the message because they're like, I don't really know. Maybe I'm busy. Maybe they're busy. Maybe they just forgot to respond. But like, if we continue to share with a genuine heart and make it about them, like, when is it a good time for them to join? And we just continue to share. Like, we have to take away the personal aspect of it, because Do you guys really think when someone ignores you, I mean, do you think when someone ignores you or they tell you no, do you take it personal? Most people do, right? Most people do.
I
Would you
think
guys
it
agree?
depends on the person, right? So like you get these people that you thought you were close to who don't message you back, and it's like we talk every day, or it's like message me back. And those are the ones that specifically I'll take personal.
Yeah. And sometimes we do, but at the end of the day, like it's not, they just don't want to buy Rodan & Fields skincare. They don't want to join us in Rodan & Fields. Maybe they have like a huge MLM, like they hate MLMs, you know, like we don't know. But what we have to tell ourselves every single day, whether you need to write it down and put it on your computer screen where you work, I have an incredible opportunity that I need to share with people. I have incredible products that I need to share with people. It's, if they ignore me or if they say no, it's not personal. It's not about me. It actually says more about them. Actually, it only speaks to them. It actually says nothing about you. And that's our job, to be here, to continue to follow up and see when it may be a better time for them. And we build relationships with them.
And I think when Brittany's in long enough and finally has that person that comes around after 2 years of not even responding, when you're in long enough and you get that, when that happens, sometime you're going to be like, oh my gosh, that person has been ignoring me. And it is so exciting to have that happen when you think, what the heck? You've responded, you've ignored a dozen messages, and now you finally respond to me. But when she's in longer, that'll happen.
Yeah. And when you're new, like you're just building up like your credibility with your network. You know, people are watching you and they're thinking like, is she going to stick with it? Like, is she going to quit? Like, what's going to happen? You know, so they're just like watching, observing you. And it might even take a reach out for them to even, because I mean, let's be real, people don't reach out to us about like purchasing products. I mean, that might happen to me now a little bit 4 years later because I've like consistently done the work and shown up to like say, hey, I'm your skincare girl, you know, like consistently over and over and over. But, you know, in the beginning, it just doesn't. But so it really, you know, you're feeling, this is everybody, Brittany, I'm not picking on you. This is everybody. We're feeling anxiety and fear about reaching out to somebody because we're afraid of the no, we're afraid of being ignored. We're afraid of, oh crap, what if they say yes? I don't know what to do with them. Their success is on my shoulders. Like those are all fear things that we're telling ourselves. We got to get rid of that. Like it has to go. And you have to every single day tell yourself the story that is going to serve you, because that doesn't serve you. And you made that up. So make up the story that's going to serve you. And if you ever need help making up that story, I mean, and you guys, you cannot do this in your head. You can't do it in your head. You are the one that made up these stories in your head. You need to get it onto paper every single day and write your green light serving story. And don't expect to change on day 1, but do expect to change on day 30. Do it every single day. Another thing I want to bring up too, because it's a common one. Being busy is a choice. You do not have to be busy. You are interpreting what you have going on in your life as busy. So if you want to feel less overwhelmed, put less stuff on your plate. And I know everyone's probably thinking, well, like if I put less stuff on my plate, like I probably wouldn't even work my Rodan & Fields business because I got a million things going on, job, kids, all that stuff. Well, this is what I recommend you do. Put into your schedule what you can do. Maybe that's 2 reach outs a day. Maybe that's 1 reach out a day. Whatever it is that you could do to make yourself not feel overwhelmed and busy, do that. And then what will happen is you may not be satisfied with your results of 1 reach out, 2 reach outs, 5 reach outs a day. You may not be satisfied with that. And you will figure out a way to then do 10 reach outs a day because you want to see more results. You want to see, you know, your business growing. But busyness is a feeling. Busy is a feeling, and you get to choose how you feel. Do not overwhelm yourself. Like, don't just erase that like feeling of overwhelm from your mind and take away the things that overwhelm you. Just take them away. It's your choice. Something else that, does anybody have anything to say before I keep going?
Just that busy thing. I used to live there. And the best thing I ever did for myself was stop saying yes to other people's dreams, stop saying yes to other people's stuff, and start saying yes to myself. And yes, it's a little uncomfortable occasionally when you have to back out of something you've been doing forever, or you have to tell Susie Q friend, no, you can't help her do this thing right now because you're in charge of your time. You get to create your entire world. And it's a little uncomfortable at first, especially, Brittany, if you're a people pleaser, especially then. It's hard, but it's just a second. It's just a second to just back right on out of those things.
And something else. Oh, Brittany, were you unmuted? Oh, Julie, go ahead.
I was just going to say that it reminded me of something from the Atomic Habits book where he said, don't get so busy doing the things that you could do, but stay busy doing the things that you should do.
Yeah.
And that brings me to another thing that I was going to bring up. So my mom had posted, I think somebody had commented about like, I'm busy, you know, all the things, I'm busy. And that's my excuse. And you're right. It's just that, it's an excuse. So she had pointed out that she was working full time and then COVID, and now she's not working at all. And she's still not doing the activity. And we had a long conversation kind of like walking through this formula thing just the other day. It's because of fear. It's because of fear of rejection, fear of no's, fear of what are people going to think. And because you guys, if we really think about this, how long does it take to sit down and do 5 reach outs? I mean, if you're just simply asking, hey, I want to see if you're interested in learning more about the business or the products, whatever route you want to take with them, that should literally take, I mean, no more than 5 minutes, you guys. Like seriously. But what do? We sit down at our computer, we look at their profile, we start coming up with all these stories of why we shouldn't reach out to them. Have I relationship builded long enough? Have I done this? What are they going to think? And so then it takes an hour and we haven't done anything. And so it's not lack of time. It's not. It's fear of doing the simple thing that we end up telling ourselves a story that doesn't serve us. And when you turn your stories into stories that serve you, don't expect to like day one, like think these things. You're kind of like, it's kind of like faking it till you make it, you know, like you have to continuously tell yourself these green light stories because your red light story has been there a long time. And so you need to unthink it, unfeel it, and start on this green light path. I feel like that pretty much sums it up.
I love
If you guys do this, if you guys get control of the thoughts in your mind, your business will explode. And there's no more training that you need. There's no more resources. There's no more knowing how to say something. What's the right language? None of that. It's the thoughts in your mind that will dictate your success. The end.
Yep.
I put this thing, this sheet, I put this sheet in that post on the page, the one that Bob gave us. I don't know,
I actually have PDFs that walk you through this transformation process, and I'm happy to share them so you guys can work through it and read it, digest it. Bob is so good at it. Like I literally can't do him any justice, but you will.
He is so good.
You'll get a better idea of the whole process.
I would love it if you would share that PDF. And then depending upon your work schedule, I would actually love it if you would come to Meetup Monday, and at the beginning of Meetup Monday, if you would take somebody through the hot seat.
Yeah.
I think that that would serve our team and us to consistently be hearing this and seeing this. I think that that would be wonderful if you're available to do that.
Yeah, my
And you
schedule
did a great job.
is always different.
You're not Bob, but you're not supposed to be Bob. You're you.